Hello everyone and welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. We're doing a 1v1 game today and it is ranked and I'm going against the major Time to Go Home. Now this is always a little scary. I have recently gotten a first lieutenant at the time of this game, not really at the time of recording as you guys know because I am getting married soon. I am front loading a bunch of these videos so I'm not entirely sure when this one will come out. If it is before the 17th, I'm not yet married. If it's after the 17th, then I am a happily married man, and so, well, I figured why not do this one. It was a bit of a, it was one of those games where I post a lot of games where I'm really kind of proud of how I did, right? And if you look over the last couple of months, I think anyway, I tend to improve over at least long amounts of time. The me of today could probably wipe the floor with the me of, say, last October, just because that's how this thing goes when you are talking with people, when you learn from some of the really excellent players in the game, and you just amend your gameplay to what it is they tell you need to work on, and so that's my hope. We'll see if it's actually true, but this game is not one of those. This game is not one of the ones like the 2v2 on oh, what was it, Punch Bowl, where Han Hun and I went against Crippling Depression and Canadian and had just a knockdown drag-out fight that I was kind of proud of, or the recent 2v2 against Husky Actual and Chili Pillow that again I was really proud of, and this is one of those where for some reason I just couldn't get things to work right. And it felt very similar to playing all those months ago where I was just making mistakes, like, I don't know, not unloading my Milan 2 before it took the second ATGM fired from that town, or just a lot of stuff like that. So we've already taken some losses. My opponent does look like he's playing Blue Dragons. We saw Peace Pheasant 2 come out and knock out my Recon Anti-Air, which is why I can't see hardly anything that he has going on around there, and I'm already taking fire in a couple other places. I'm trying to cap Bravo, and the whole strategy here for me is hold on to this 2-pointer for dear life, but I don't even have it capped yet. I don't have it under control yet. MX-10 RC just going as quickly as I can to try and cross that bridge. Gets taken out by another Peace Pheasant 2, because of course, depending on if these are up or down bedded, there could be as many as, I believe, 6 in a single deck. It might be 4. I might be thinking of if you do just a national deck instead of the coalition. But this ninja is spotting everything of mine. My Vab's trying to cross the bridge now, because that worked out so well for the AMX-10 RC that went before it. And, you know, it's not like I could use those infantry later on or anything like that. Hachinanashiki trying to cross my bridge toward Foxtrot, because, you know, rude play will be returned with rude play the world over. And I don't know. This is not how you want to start off a game. So I'm trying to get some numbers out into Alpha. I was a little worried that he might be going into Alpha. And if I can't get his 2-pointer, I at least need to hold mine so I can get a foothold in Delta. That was the thought process here. Also just ATGM trying to screen out that recon vehicle that was going to make my life a little bit difficult. And in the meantime, I'm trying to get a mortar forward. I'm trying to get reinforcements forward, just some reservists and AMX-13 VTTs. And of course, seeing the Milan, seeing all this stuff coming in, he is just retreating out. Good smart play from Time to Go Home, getting out of dodge, out of danger, and still in my back line, because I need to stop him somewhere back here, or I can guarantee you this guy will end up either in Bravo or in Echo. So that's the first thing on my mind right now. The second thing is getting a Roland 3 forward. I wanted 2 of them. I bought 2 of them again, just so I have 1, 2, 3 on their way, and we'll see. Probably overbuying. I need other stuff on the ground, but with the H1J and the Ninja, I have, of course, lost my RC, well, my other VAB transports forward here with the infantry inside them. I'm taking so many hundreds of points of losses here with really not a lot to give back, and of course, I'm first lieutenant, my opponent is a major. There's a couple of ranks between us there, but only 2 now. It's captain then major, after all. And if I lose this, I will lose a fair amount of ELO, because it's no longer like when you're a sergeant and you get matched up against a major, and you know that win will make your rank, and the loss, well, you're only going to lose a couple of points anyway. So this is getting scarier with each passing rank. There really are stakes to it, the higher you get up in the ranked ladder, and it does make it just really kind of terrifying to deal with. Now, Panzer Grenadier at 90 should be able to clear out some of the stuff in here. There's Tukjun Sa. Panzer 90 double stack against Tukjun Sa. I know who I'm putting my money on, even though we did take some losses crossing in there, but there's an H1J to support. I don't have anything to take him out, and trying to switch the building, I take those rocket pots to the face without the damage reduction from being inside the building. So all of a sudden, an easy winning fight, I'm just gone. That's Panzer Grenadier 90, they're gone. My Martyr 2s are in the woods, not able to be effective. The Roland 3 is too far away. This is looking like right now, I'm just going to lose India. I don't really have good defenses in Foxtrot. My opponent has air dominance, he has a couple of helicopters out, and all of that is just going to make my life really hard. Now this was a lucky break. Tukjun Saw are retreating backwards, trying to maybe go after my Commando's para, and I'm trying to keep these guys out of the way of the H-1J's rocket pod, so just making his line of sight very difficult, and I thought for a second there that we killed these Tukjun Saw. Turns out, no, they moved away. And I didn't know that, so I think that my opponent's recon is at least gone, because we saw the recon team and the Conquerors team, and that's it. I'm smoking this now with nothing approaching, because that's the way to do it, evidently. And we're really going to be leaning on these Rollin' 3s to take out the Ninja, to take out the H-1J, and all of that incoming plane. My Rollin' 3s in the open, and this is a Peace Pheasant 2. I just don't know it yet, and I'm about to, because right there, ATGM's on the way. Sorry if you guys can hear the sirens in the background. Curse of the living in the city. Yeah, Peace Pheasant 2 gets in, gets out, got the kill. Martyr 2 is getting taken out by an ATGM. I'm probably down about 400 points right now, is my guess. Could have done the math, but frankly, I don't want to at this point. It's a little bit goofy. But double stack of Rollin' 3s at least is looking for that kill. A couple of misses, but we do get him down. And the Tiger Hap just sending in 2 Mistrals. Ordinarily, I would turn that off, but I so badly needed that kill just to stay in this game that fine, whatever. We'll deal with it later. It'll be alright. I can bring this guy back. I can load him back up. Frankly, I didn't expect him to survive more than that anyway, because there's 3 AH-1Js back here, and there's a Ninja behind it. The Ninja's Stingers will probably trade into a Tiger Hap in most engagements. Even though you do have longer range, if I don't have recon on him, the Ninja could still fire about the same time as the Tiger Hap will, from my experience. Now, 1 missile away, looking for the kill on the H-1J. We don't get it. I'm out of Mistrals. And the fact that I'm not firing at him, he knows it. Ninja is chasing me now, and I'm trying to pull him out over the Rollin' 3s, which he will probably spot in the open ground. If nothing else, this will keep my Tiger Hap alive for right now. Now, the 2A4 has pretty much been a paperweight, and it's a 130-point paperweight. I really could have used that in anti-air, as it turns out. But the saving grace here for me, right now, is that through all this, through all the AH-1J buys, through all the Ninja buys, through all the Peace Pheasants, I still have some small position in India. I still have a gun on the main road, and for right now anyway, we are still secure in Alpha. Now the Panther here did spot something blue on that side, so we do need to handle that, and more importantly, he's not going to be able to get up into Golf and get a couple of kills. I was just hoping to exploit. I figured he has a lot of points over there in reinforcements in the air. Maybe he doesn't have a ton on the ground, but we can get a couple of kills, and I was looking for a nice shot in, which we don't quite get. So that did kind of hurt. AMX 1390s are poised in the retake position, so if you load them here, get reservists going, you can push back into the town Alpha, but not seeing anything there and seeing the blue on the far side of the woods, we're just going to be moving up, making sure that, okay, instead of the retake Alpha position, we're going to be moving up into a prevent it from being taken position. Cassiope, by the way, did take out the ATGM team, but this is a mistake. Tukjun Saw, one single Tukjun Saw, is going to be able to get the kill on the Cassiope, and this pissed me off to no end. So I have a second Cassiope coming up, and Cassiope, however you say it, I am not French. It's just going to screen out this section of woods, make sure there's nothing along here, and then move up and try and take out that singular Tukjun Saw, who's probably the most valued Tukjun Saw I've ever seen. Now KM900 is going to be just wrecked by the Giat. Giat 4, what was it? No, Giat 30? No, 450 rounds. Giat 30 off that Cassiope, so we do get the kill, very nice. And we're going to be moving up into India. Now on this side, I have a couple of reservists also moving in, BBL Mistral here. If my opponent likes helicopters that much, he could conceivably send them around the side just to check and see if I have base defense. The Mistral is not really going to be moving unless absolutely necessary, but these reservists are there to screen out for infantry, so that's the intention. Rollin' 3 is off. I'm trying to micro this decently well, and there's some interesting buys happening from the Blue 4 players. Still not infantry forces. I think he bought 4 55-point technically howitzers. I say technically howitzers because they're not fast reload time, they're not even high damage, they're not even high HE power. They're just annoying, and 4 of them can do some pretty good work, particularly on pre-sighted positions, so it's not like they're bad per se, it's just not a usual choice. Blue Dragons in particular, you do get a couple of good options. Here's the Cassiope, there's the singular Tukjun Saw, look at that, down to 2. Alright, and now my reservists are here. These guys should have been there a long time ago. We're 10 minutes in now, and I need these numbers to take the town. I just lost them earlier to a Peace Pheasant 2 that came in and knocked out both the AMX-13s like it was nothing. And yeah, this has to succeed at this point. I need to also get CVs out, so I have one going to Foxtrot. I am also thinking about capping Alpha at this point because we just need to put tick on my opponent, or he very well could grind me out in the late game. This could become a really unpleasant game. But here comes a plane. Probably looking for the MX-13s is my guess. The rolling 3s are off. And yeah, Fuchs Milan dead. I was worried this was a seed plane because, of course, Blue Dragons gets a really wonderful seed plane. So that's one shot in, second shot in. That was a block 52D, and we do get the kill. So that's one seed plane down, which is very nice. Going after the Peace Pheasant 2, not quite able to get it because of a weird reload off the rolling 3s. Now, this is interesting. I try retreating back, and then change my mind and say, okay, we're going to take down some H1Js. Hopefully we'll get that one shot, two shot, rolling 3s nearly dead. One of them goes down, and if I'm not really lucky here, and I was really lucky, that could have been catastrophic with the H1J. Certainly has the armament to kill a rolling 3 with those rocket pods, just didn't quite have the luck on his side there because a panic rolling 3 landed that last shot when it was absolutely clutch that he should do so. So now we have cleared out the Tokchun Saw. That will help with line of sight issues and recon issues in this zone, but I don't have smoke up in front of the Leopard 2A4, and that's Peace Pheasant 2. That is not the plane I want to be on the receiving end of in this situation, but we're looking for a kill again, and we do get it. So at least it wasn't for free. It was a good trade for the Blue 4 player. The major time to go home in terms of a 90-point plane for a 130-point tank. But we are screening out Hudao Ren now. Hudao Ren will chew through my reservists, they'll chew through the MX-13s, as long as they're in a town. The fact that they're not in a town taking fire from 3 of these AMXs is what's giving me even the slightest bit of a chance here, as we have taken off about a quarter strength from that double stack, and could conceivably take off a bit more as well later on. But Delta is lost to Blue, pretty much. I lost the recon infantry here a while ago. That will make this very deadly to hold on to Alpha as well, and well, potentially anyway. And we're looking for the F-15J, one shot, one hit, evac ordered. That's why I keep these in double stacks. Usually need 2 hits to get the kill, but there's more helicopters. That looks like a ninja, and he does get the lucky dodge. So we had the lucky shot previously, we didn't get it there. Wargame gave it the Wargame taken away. Double ninja, by the way. Pretty scary stuff. So at this point, I think I'm actually out of Rollin 3s, so we're bringing up a Gepard A2, which I like the Rollin 3s much better. This guy, it's a gun, it's good for chip damage and all that, but the Rollin 3s are just such excellent plane killers and double stacks that it's hard to replace them. It's hard to think about fighting this without having them. Now, if I'd kept my tank back in the woods, we'd be able to put direct fire on whatever reinforcements are coming up and forward. These are, of course, the Hudao Ren. Pretty damaged, all things considered. And I was debating, I was sitting there going, okay, well, I need something to change this up because these guys will kill my reservists. If I could get the VAB guns online, maybe that can turn things around. I just need to stay out of range of those recoilless rifles, which I don't quite do here. But luckily for me, my opponent moves. He rolled double miss, which is very nice. Probably because those Hudao Ren had been in combat. So now he's just running through, trying to see if he can get into this town. We do take out that Humvee. And because of that, I'm sitting there going, okay, well, we're at +2 tick. We need to get up to +4 tick. We need to get up to +6 tick if we can, just to really make this game go very quickly. Because I'm still not confident that I can really go into the late game here, even though the last 5 minutes has been a lot better for me than the previous 10. It just, yeah, a lot better trades, a lot better kills, a lot better board position. We're really putting a lock on India with minimal investments actually on the ground. So lots of reservists spread around. These VABs are carrying some better infantry. I have a Gepard A2 coming up. Really need to turn off that twin radar gun, we'll see. And double AMX 10RC along with Legion 90 because I want infantry here to kill whatever might come up close. I want the AMX 10RC to disable infantry fighting vehicles that might come across the bridge. I want the only thing that can come across here and do well to be super heavy tanks that I can deal with other ways. Now, Tokchun saw, and this was interesting. He probably should have pushed me here. Tokchun saw can definitely kill the MX-13. They can mulch through reservists. If nothing else, that would have forced me to get a couple more buys. As it is, the fact that he's moving just means I'm going to take the MX-1390. We're going to sit right here. Anything tries to cross, it's going to die. That's fine. It's really hard to sneak around that side if your opponent is onto you, at least from what I've seen. Of course, that doesn't stop me from trying it every once in a while. Sometimes you succeed, after all. But this has just been, it's been a lot of mortar fire. Ooh, we lost the Rollin 3. Yeah, I think that was the howitzer. 4 howitzers, 220 points for the whole thing. He is going to get some kills, but it's going to take a little while for that to pay off. We'll have to see how it does later on. Of course, I wanted the Legion 90 to kill those Hudauran before they were able to do that to my Vabs, but it's sometimes interesting chasing infantry in towns. You'll think you'll be able to shoot at them, and you just can't sometimes. Bopping between town blocks is definitely a viable strategy, but now we do have forces on the ground coming around the left side, KM900 recon vehicle, along with a couple of things here, and I was hoping to get shots on with the MX-10 RC. I'm not quite sure why we couldn't. I'm maybe a little bit too far back in the woods there. Yeah, a little interesting. Oh, nope. Inefficient against armors. That's a K1, and only one K1 that I can see, but we do take out his escorting infantry fighting vehicles and infantry. What's interesting is that he hadn't been able to shoot back at us until just then, and the Legion 90 able to take out that 95-point tank? Yeah, give or take a little bit, is pretty nice. So this is the first time we've really had a good trade, and I was feeling pretty confident at this point, just because, yeah, we're down on points. Yeah, we've been trading badly into helicopters, but every time Time to Go Home has tried to do something on the ground, we've been able to handle it reasonably tidily. So as long as I can get more anti-air forward, as long as I can keep his helicopters from being too effective, and we peeled off most of his air force that he had previously bought, right? So both the Peace Pheasant 2s are down, the Block 52D seed plane went down, we had, I think the F-15J didn't get out, but it's a fair number of kills. It's going to take him a little while to build up critical mass again, and of course planes going in as streams do tend to be a bit more effective. The Panther was just to make a statement. So here's my CV buys. I was talking about it for a little bit prior, just because I thought I called it in earlier, but it's been a little while since this game was played. So 2 command vehicle buys, one there for India and one there for Alpha, just trying to get that +6, because of course he did stop my tick. And if I can get a cap in India, a cap in Alpha, there's nothing he can do unless he pushes me out of one of these to prevent me from getting tick. Even if he caps Delta, which he probably should, this is entirely under his control, and there it goes. +1 to him right now. This flips to a +1 to me with one of these, and a +3 to me with the other. So that is pretty devastating to have to deal with. It's tick that builds up very quickly over time. Of course, +1 is 150 points over 10 minutes. +3, therefore, is 450 points over 10 minutes, which means all I need is 10 minutes at that +3, and I win the game. I actually need a little bit less than 10 minutes at +3 as well, so it definitely is something that is a win condition for me. It's what I was looking for right now. Of course, if you get 450 or more, then you guarantee a draw or a win, because even if your opponent catches up to you, unless they pass you all the way to 500 and win outright, they can't win on comparative tick. It's too close. It turns into a draw. So get the cap in India, that goes up to +1. As soon as this Fuchs Milan unloads, that's going to be effectively about a 9-minute timer for my opponent to deal with me. Which, yeah, I mean, we're throwing down the gauntlet here a little bit. We're saying, hey, you need to start really pushing in more than just getting kills that are admittedly advantageous trades for the Blue 4 player right now. This is throwing down the gauntlet. It's saying, I'm taking +3, I don't even need all this time to win, and keep in mind too, if I keep a +3 tick for about 7-ish, 8-ish minutes, I can then win on a +1 outright. So he needs to really get more map control than he has right now, and just planes, even though they'll be annoying as heck for me to deal with, aren't necessarily going to be enough to do it. Tiger Hat, 100 points, does trade into the 90-point Ninja. You're taken out by an F-15J. A little unfortunate, 10 more points to Time to Go Home for his comparative kill-to-loss ratio there, but I don't know. Through all of that early game struggle, through all of that early game lack of coordination, a lot of the rookie mistakes at the beginning part of the game, we have finally gotten something that resembles a good result, at least for right now. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't get snuck through here. I did get a MX-1390 for my base a little earlier. Of course, he should be able to see across the river here. That was the whole goal, was keep anything from coming in to Echo without me being able to kill it. And I've left my Milan 2 for the same reason, along with the Fuchs Milan. Just anything that comes through here, we should be able to at least shoot at it, make it debate its life choices, and maybe even get a good result. Now the Peace Pheasant 2, there's the gun, the radar gun turning on. Bit of a mistake, so we were too far away to get the kill there, and here's the Block 52D, 1 missile, 2 missiles. We're so close to the Blue 4 air spawn, it's really hard to get that micro. So losing the Gepard A2 now means my opponent does have free reign once more with all of his easy for me to say, all of those helicopters until I can get a replacement, which I think I was actually running out of Gepard A2s as well. I don't bring man-pads in this deck either. This is a 1v1 deck meant to have people keep their anti-air alive a bit better than I did. I think, yeah, it was pretty challenging. Okay, this is my first plane buy of the game, KWS. I was tired of the constant anti-air on the ground dying, I'm sitting there going, okay, fine. You're going to have to buy something good, or I'm just going to kill it with the KWS. I'm trying to stay back in Foxtrot circling, but a little bit of a missed micro there. Planes always go farther forward than I expect them to when I call them back in my own zones. I'm not really sure if that's I'm not clicking where I think I'm clicking, or just the relative place where it goes before it starts its turn. I'm not really sure. It could be just game mechanics there. It could be, even if it is just game mechanics, it's something I need to learn how to adjust to. And now those howitzers are pounding in to my Legion 90, which is not what I want them to do. I only have the Legion 90 Commandos Para and Reservists around here. Of course, don't have all that many points, and I just spent a bunch of them in the air. And this is pretty brutal. So 13 of them getting just wrecked by repeated fire, and I'm just gonna get out of the town blocks. Look at the high dispersion on this. It's a huge circle, even this close, and we're gonna move. But as soon as we do, we actually get a little bit caught by dispersion. No, was it not quite right there? What was right there? Well, we'll return. We'll look at what happens to those Legion. As 2 K1s are crossing the bridge, and I'm just warming up for another Legion 90 kill. If I can get even one of them, that's worthwhile. Of course, these guys are 25 points apiece. K1, 95 points right there. So, sure, I'll trade 2 into 1, even if it gives away my Legion position. That's something that I need to have in order to keep this ground position, well, mine, and not my opponent's. What would have probably won this guy the game right now would be Blue Dragon's Reservist spam. You have the vehicles to do it, you have the numbers to do it, Yebagun are surprisingly annoying to deal with. Here's the KWS. You get one plane, I was looking for that second one, but we get stunned, and that Block 52D is a brutal dogfighter. Doesn't actually get the kill. So this was, I was sitting there going, we got it, oh, I'm toast. Oh, we got out. Fair enough. But the issue is, with 1 strength remaining on that KWS, it's going to be a long time before he's up and ready to go again. Now, one thing I do want to point out, with these Chumat moving over and the threat of a ground pushback here from time to go home, we're at 300 points. 18 minutes left in the game, we're at 300 points, we're ticking +3, another 45 points every single minute. The pressure is on, and we're just threatening to win the game outright. This is what I was talking about earlier. As soon as I moved the Legion, we got caught by a wide dispersion shot off of those howitzers, went down from 11 strength to 4, so that really sucked. Of course, panicked and shaken Legion 90 are also really prone to missing with their Erics, or getting stunned after it fires, which of course means that it can no longer do anything at all, and my anti-air was not replenished in time. So this AH-1J, having relatively free reign, of course we'll shoot at him if he comes over, but the guns on my command infantry are off for a very good reason, trying to make sure that I don't get spotted, that I don't get seen, and quite frankly, if he had moved his howitzers onto this back section of town, which was almost certainly where I would guess that's, if I were him, where I had my command vehicle, that probably would have been able to get the kill there. Just look at what it did to the Legion 90, and that was 20 total strength. Gone now, completely, and it could be he's just trying to do something a bit more methodical, working his way through these town blocks, which is definitely working for him. My Commandos Para now, feeling the brunt of that. The Tukjun Saw are in. Now, I want to stay away from the edge of the town with the Tukjun Saw there so they don't see me, and that's actually... Ooh, why aren't we... Yeah, we're still moving. K1 is popped by the Legion 90, and I'm looking for the second one, almost reloaded on the Erics. Didn't really ever have recon with them for this push. It's a little interesting. But the KAFV 25s and their infantry, if they're unloaded about now and you push the infantry forward, should be able to do good work, at least with K1 behind them. But he needs to shoot my AMX-10RC, and he needs to just, I don't know. It felt like this player was really comfortable with the helicopter game, with the air game, and very much not comfortable, at least against what I brought on the ground for this, because this is twice now a vastly superior number of points has run up against a single static position and just not done very well. It also does kind of raise the question of, okay, well, he howitzered the heck out of both of these sections. Why not the section over on the right, particularly if it is one that he's looking to clear out? Could just be waiting for a bomber. The Peace Pheasant 1, while it is often derided as not exactly strong, is still capable of clearing out something, just because of the sheer number of bombs. But with +3, we're up to 390 points, looking to close out this game. No attacks in at Alpha, nothing really coming in at Delta. We have defenses here, and if my Tiger can do well, and if the Legion can hold, then we should be in a decent position. But this is a little risky. I probably should have landed right there. Oh no, I already did. No, I didn't. That's a low hover. Yeah, this is risky. He could just dive it at this point, because I don't have much anti-air cover right now. I did lose the Gepard, and VBL Mistral usually won't get plane kills on its own. It can, it definitely can. But it will be the exception, not the rule. And the fact that I've had the exception a couple of times means, hey, I guess it's not too rare, but it is still more unlikely than It's likely. Now, Legion 90 going against Kyotokus, this is really, really risky because those grenade launchers get easy stun, they have high suppression, and now that I am a little bit unhappy here, yeah, this is going to be just a massacre. So my Legion 90 dying in the woods. They're not dedicated wood fighters anyway, it's just the best that I had, not wanting to spend on Martyr 2s that couldn't handle K1s that were coming through there. But I've lost that section of forest now. Didn't even need howitzers, he just needed, as I said, he needed a couple of infantry fighting vehicles, a couple of infantry, and to really just take that engagement carefully, cautiously, and well. So Tiger is looking for a chance to get those snub rocket pods online, and then we're moving back as soon as the Ninja. So the interesting thing is, I have stingers, I have 4 of them, 70% accuracy. Ninja has stingers, 4 of them, 70% accuracy, and longer range. So 2275 meter on the Tiger, and 2450 meter on the Ninja. There's a reason this thing is just considered a brutal, brutal option for Blue Dragons. One of the real highlight units, from my understanding. Now, my command infantry are still here. This is a counter cap, which again is interesting because I think what it's trying to do is flip this to a +1 by countercapping me here, then pushing me out of the town, and that gets him +1. But with 13 minutes left, that's not enough, so he needs to attack other places as well, and he's not yet. It takes a good amount of time to push someone out of a zone, particularly one that's close to their own reinforcements, and make no mistake, Alpha is close to my own reinforcement zone. This can be a really bloody fight. So, it's tough. It really is tough to figure out the priority on things like this. If it were me, I probably would have taken everything I had on this side and just thrown it forward a little while ago, out of sheer desperation. But the Block 52D is back, my KWS is back as well, looking for that kill. First missile away, evac ordered on the 52D, and it is going to be 3 misses, actually no, 2 misses. I thought the third one missed as well, but not enough to get the kill there. My KWS just a little unhappy, circling around, and I was debating using the AIM-9L secondaries against helicopters here, just because the double ninja is pretty brutal. I have a lot of reinforcements, I have Martyr 2s, I have Babs, I have all this stuff. I'm going as quickly as I can to clear his counter cap, because if I can't do that, these Tuction Sa will kill my reservists, they'll kill my command infantry, they're just right there. And we're so close, we're at 485 points, but now I need a full minute. I need +1 tick for a full minute to get the kill here, where I didn't need that before, just because of the counter cap, so I want to clear it so badly it's crazy, and scaring away those helicopters is definitely part of the requirement there. Now, command infantry can do a surprisingly good game of hide and seek, so the Tuction Sa are right here, but because of infantry facing, it takes them a little bit to engage. We are taking some losses, but with 4, I'm just hopping between towns as much as I can. The VABs are in, the Martyr 2s are in, the MX-13s are in, reservists, and all of this stuff moving forward, trying to get just far enough, and I think we startled him, and he's moving out, and that is a fatal mistake with a +3 tick. That's 2 ticks, and it's game right there. 499, moving on to 500, and that is a win against a major in a game where I was down 440 points at the end. So 1560 kills, 2,000 losses, and I'm very sure that he had a significant edge on me for most of the entire game on kills, just because that start was so horrendously horrible. Don't give up, guys. If you're playing a ranked game, if you're playing a public match, even if the beginning is really sloppy, even if you're making mistakes, if you think to yourself, you know, I can quit right now and I can go into a new game with a bad attitude because I'm not playing very well today, or you can say, you know what, we're going to knuckle down, we're going to give it our best fight, we're going to do as much as we can. Sometimes you'll end up with a surprising result. So MX-10RC did okay. A couple of other highlight units are going to be the Roland 3s. Even though they did die, they were absolutely clutch for slowing things down for the Blue 4 player just in the nick of time. Peace Pheasant 2 kill, Block 52D, AH-1J, 2 more AH-1Js, just... ah man, I just wish I'd kept some other things alive. The 2A4, sending him out there without smoke was such a bonehead play. I just... oof. You hate to see it. But that's going to be all we've got for you guys today. Thank you all for hanging around, and we'll see you again real soon.